Hello, Potato. The time has finally come to set up the LEGO Halloween Village display. It's not really a village, it's a display. The other ones are more villagey. This one's really more of a display. And I have a couple new sets to build this year for it. A couple small ones. I haven't picked up the Nightmare Before Christmas set yet. I would like to. I hope to get it in there for Halloween this year. If not, I may pick it up and put it together next year. But there really hasn't been anything super Halloweenish this year that I've wanted, which is both, I guess, a little disappointing and a little rewarding in that I'm not spending more money on LEGO. I am putting a bunch of the D&D minifigures in there. I basically went back and bought duplicates of like all the monster ones and the Gith Warlock, and they're gonna go in there. But there is one set that I saw when it first came out, I'm like, oh, I have to buy it. But before we get to that, let's look at this. This is kit 9470 from Lord of the Rings. It's Shelob Attacks. This lovely thing is built out of a mere 227 pieces back in 2012. I've had this up on a shelf since 2012, and it was very, very dusty, let me tell you. I'm sure it still looks a little dusty on camera. You should have seen what it looked like when I started. Now, the reason I'm looking at this set today is because I think it's a beautiful set. I think this was a fantastic design for such a small number of pieces, no less. You got Frodo, and you got Samwise, and you got Shelob, and lots of articulation on here, lots of posability. I'm very gentle with it because 2012 is kind of like peak Brittle Brown era, and I really don't want to break her. I mean, although to be fair, I think all the brown pieces on here are ones that I could still just like order off, pick a brick and replace. Yeah, there's still some dust on here. I didn't want to like dust it too harshly either, because again, I don't want this brown stuff to crumble. But I mean, look at this. You've got all the legs are articulated with multiple joints on them. You've got an articulated body. You've got back here, I actually had forgotten about this until I took it down. You have the ability to have it hang and crawl down. Now, I think I may have assembled this incorrectly, because either way I turn, oh, there it goes. Yeah, you could have her like crawl in. It's even got wheels on it, so you can have it like roll down a wall. I mean, that is just a fantastic set. And the reason I'm looking at it is because it's thematically in line with what I'm building today. Now, this does not go in the Halloween Village. It's going to go right back up on the shelf where I got it from, because again, Brittle Brown, and I don't want to mess it up. But I'm looking at it because today we're also going to be building a spider. This from Harry Potter is kit 76434. Came out, I think, last month. It came out in just the last couple months. It is 195 pieces, so a little bit smaller. And I feel like it is not going to be as good of a spider. I mean, look at it. Definitely less articulation there, definitely less of a build. Now, I don't necessarily know that Aragog is supposed to be, I don't know, as big and fearsome as Shelob, but I feel like I would have been happier if they literally just recopied this design with a different face on it and called it Aragog, and I honestly think I would be happier. I've still picked it up, obviously, I mean, just to whine about it, I guess, because I do think a giant spider in the Halloween display would not be amiss. I mean, it wouldn't be the only Harry Potter stuff in there. But this here for Shelob is all of it. There were no little like bits of scenery. It was just Shelob and two minifigures. No like wasted space here in this inn. Just frankly beautiful, done 12 years ago. And they have yet to, in my opinion, make a spider that looks better than this one. And I really feel like today is not going to be an exception. It's a slightly smaller build, which I'm sure cost me quite a bit more, although to be fair, $2012 versus $2024 are different animals altogether. It does look like Harry and Ron here are going to have the no good, very bad, should not be used child legs. Because this would be, this what, from the first movie? The second movie? The first movie, I think. Comes with a couple little baby spiders and a web set, I guess, to have the characters get caught in. I'm not sure what that's going to be for. Should be a very quick build, though. I mean, it's, again, only 95 pieces, 195 pieces, so there shouldn't be too much to it. And then we'll see how it stacks up at the end to Shelob. We'll put Shelob over there, out of the way. Don't think we'll need a ton of room for this. Gee, looks like it's just 3 bags. Are we at least spared decals? Because it looks like on the front here, here we go. Aragog's face is printed, and I don't know what else in here would have decals. So I think we are spared. We are spared the indignity of the decals. 3 bags, all of them fairly small. Here's our booklet. Still no paper bags. Still have not had a single set. I mean, again, I may have some. I have like a bunch of sets I haven't built, but I have not opened a single set that actually had the paper bags in it. Instructions are 30 steps. So yeah, this should be a very quick build. There's the QR code if you want to follow along at home. But yeah, we're going to put together Aragog in the Forbidden Forest and see how it stacks up to a set from 12 years ago. Over a decade ago. Did they build us a better spider than they built today? I'm pretty sure at the very least this one is not going to have a web that lowers down, which is, again, I'd forgotten I even had that, and it's a really cool feature. Again, the whole thing just looks really good. This usually sits up on a shelf, and it actually used to hold Frodo in this arm, but this arm has gotten a little loose. I think not like, not to the point of, say, like Ultra Caddy, where I had to like fully replace. Ooh, there's a bunch of dust in there. Didn't get in there at all. Not to the point of Ultra Caddy where I had to like replace it because it wouldn't stand up on its own, but it is no longer strong enough to hold Frodo. Frodo actually fell down a couple of years ago and has been sitting actually here in the void space waiting for the day when I would reunite him with Shelob. And as you can see, he is very, very excited. Let's turn this light on. There we go. He is very excited to be home again. All right, so what else is there to say? It's a very small build. It should be a very short video for a Lego video. Let's build us Kit 76434 Aragog in the Forbidden Forest, part of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. See you in the fast forward. There we have it. Lego Kit 76434 from the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Aragog in the Forbidden Forest. Now, how does Aragog stand up to Shelob? It's really, honestly, it's not fair. Now, on the basic level, they seem like they would be fairly evenly matched. This one is about 30 pieces smaller than Aragog was. So it comes with 2 minifigures. You got a spider with a single printed face piece. You do have this little extra thing. So, I mean, if that's important to you, this will go in the Halloween display. So it's not like it's a waste or anything, but I feel like I would have rather seen those pieces go into more articulation on Aragog than have this little thing. It's not bad, but this, I mean, honestly, this would have been better with a minifigure in like a poly bag, like one of those little $5 poly bags they have at Target and stuff. I would love to see that in a poly bag. Not so much with Aragog. I really would have rather seen a better Aragog. So it's a pretty sturdy build, though. I will say that. It doesn't feel slight. It doesn't feel like things are going to fly off of it. A little repetitive towards the end when you're putting the legs together because there are 8 of them. So articulation-wise, no side-to-side articulation. These are fixed. They're not joints. But you do have, you can twist the ends of the legs. I'm not quite sure why you would, but you can. I guess, yeah, you couldn't, you can't. I can't make it hold Harry in this leg here like Shelob could. You do have up and down on this, so you have some articulation here. So if I want to put out climbing over something, you might be able to do it, but it won't look as good as this will. Just because, again, these legs, oops, there goes Frodo. These legs go side to side as well as being, what, 1, 2, 3 joints on the actual leg plus that side to side motion there. As were these, well, these don't. They just have like up and down in the one joint and some twisting action here at the end of the legs, which I don't really see a particular use for, because it's just gonna make it stand funny. But maybe if I'm like putting it climbing over something, that'll come in handy. They do both have the back section pivots up. Of course, we have no web back here. We can't hang it off of anything. You could modify that. You could stick something there with a bit of string on it, or fishing line to, if you wanted to have it hung like it's coming down from something. But overall, I mean, by itself, it's not a bad set. Again, it is sturdy. I'm gonna say it's still sturdier than that one, although I mean, this is 12 years old and it is still in, other than dusty, it's still, I think, in pretty good condition. It's a little bit bigger, but you know, for kids who are into Harry Potter or adults who are into Harry Potter, or you just want a big spider in your Halloween village, this is probably the best you're gonna do off the shelf this year. I do hope they make something better. I keep hoping they'll make some more Lord of the Rings stuff. They've been making, you know, 2 big, like $500 sets. I would love to see some more minifigure scale sets for Lord of the Rings. I mean, maybe for Ring of Power, maybe not. Maybe just remake, you know, new versions of the older stuff. Maybe make a new version of Shelob there. But all we keep getting is $500 sets and brickheads, and I have no interest in brickheads and no place for $500 sets. Although Rivendell and the Tower are both really, really nice looking. So honestly, I think if you want to build a good spider for your Halloween display, I'm going to say go to the Lego app and just like pick a brick or bricklink the parts to make Shelob here. The only part here that should be exclusive is that printed face. You can probably get that on Bricklink for a reasonable price. I honestly don't know, or you could just, you know, not have a face there and just leave that blank, or maybe, you know, be creative and paint your own thing on there. I'm not sure if this particular piece is available anymore, at least not in black. So that could be an issue. But again, Bricklink or those other sites that, you know, part out the bricks that you can order just individual pieces from, I'm sure you can get it. Now I did just for funsies look to see if you could still, I mean, it's a 12-year-old set, but you know, is Amazon selling it? And Amazon is selling it for $200, which I'm pretty sure I didn't spend more than 20 or 30 on it back in 2012. Even adjusted for today, it would maybe be a $40 to $50 set because of the licensing. But yeah, $200 is a bit much. And again, with Brittle Brown as a consideration, you may find some of the pieces don't actually work when you put it together. At least with Aragog here, Brittle Brown's not a factor. That's something they addressed years ago and isn't a concern. So Aragog will be fine in my Halloween display. It's not as nice as Shelob. It's not really fair to compare them because even though this kit's 12 years old, I guess they partially were going after a more mature audience. But also, I really feel like more care went into designing this. But let's look at our minifigures. I didn't look at our minifigures. We do have, again, I think this is year 1 Harry. We have 2 faces. We have the scared face and the just kind of dull smiling face. I don't know, looks somehow, for some reason, that smiling face on Harry just looks like off-brand to me. And then Ron, again, scared face and kind of that Lego smirk. Everybody has a smirk. Nobody can just smile except for, well, I guess maybe they can, because that's why. That's why they all smirk, because Harry's just kind of got a smile and he looks kind of dull-witted. He's not smirking, he just looks kind of dull. I think it's also about the shade of pink they've made him out of. Just makes him like, give off-brand vibes to me. I do like the little lantern here with Ron. The printing on the figures is nice. We do have the, of course, modern wands that, if you can get them to stay in their hands, can pivot so you can have some range of directionality with them. Ron does not, I mean, Ron's wand is famously broken, so Ron does not seem to want to have good control of his wand. Yeah, you can have them face off against Aragog in the Forbidden Forest. Not much of a forest included here, just a little bit. I would really rather seen those pieces gone into Aragog. I really would rather see them just use design from this. Make an Aragog based on that. I mean, yeah, some of the front may have to be changed a little bit. Aragog's design may not be exactly the same as Shelob's in the movies, but I mean, look at these. First of all, which is creepier? I think this is definitely the creepier one. The face on this also. Face on this is kind of ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that Shelob's is fantastic either. But we do have, like, I think the way the eyes are laid out are better. Of course, we have the jabbed out eye, which is nice detail. We have a lot of dust there on the pincers. But yeah, this item just looks kind of cartoony to me. I'm not in love with it. I think if I didn't have Shelob, I would be a little bit more forgiving. I'd give a little bit more grace to Aragog here, but really, it's not a great design. It's fine, but if there were better options available that weren't $200, I would have gone for them. I definitely would say if I wanted to build another big spider for my village, I would probably just kind of pick a brick, the parts to make another one of these. Maybe even without the spider web in the back, that's not necessary, but I would definitely I'd rather have another spider design like that than like that. Now, the advantage, of course, of this is this will be, I think, longer wearing, as where this joint here in particular has gotten a little worn. It's very loose. The rest of them are pretty tight, but this is the one that was actually holding the Frodo figure for so many years before it finally gave up. And yeah, I think it just got stretched out from the pressure of having this on there. I could probably replace that one piece there. I might even actually have a spare of that in my bricks. I might have to look for. And this would be fine again. But again, brittle brown is a definite thing to be concerned about. But I mean, again, you could, I think, the brown pieces on this are all, I think, still common ones. You could replace them easily enough. So yeah, on its own, 76434 Aragog in the Forbidden Forest is fine. It's not a great set. It's not like the best possible new edition to Halloween, but it is a new edition to Halloween, and I don't have a lot of those this year. So, I mean, I will savor it. I will find a place for it, probably climbing up on top of one of the buildings or something, just somewhere where it'll look decent. And I do also have to consider that I'm looking at this as somebody in their 40s, and that the kit for ages 7 and up. So, they probably want to keep the scariness, to a lower level. But it's fine. But yeah, it doesn't hold a candle to Shelob there. But what do you think? Am I totally wrong? Am I totally off base on this? Do you think Aragog is the better spider than Shelob? Let me know in the comments below. But I have a Halloween village to set up, so if you'll excuse me, I do hope you found this at all interesting or entertaining. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I do thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.